Hi friends, this is Selvijang here. Welcome to my networking channel. Hope all are doing good. And today the topic I am going to discuss about how we can enable the BGP routing in a Cisco ASA firewall. For that I have connected two devices, ASA firewall 1 and 2 by a physical interface, gigabit 0 by 0. And both firewall 1 and 2 I connected two devices. Okay, so one I have placed in a inside security zone, that is Cisco switch, and outside I have connected to a firewall 2. Similarly, from firewall 2, from the outside security zone, I connected a firewall 1, and inside security zone, I connected a Cisco switch. And also both these devices I am going to configure in a autonomous system number 1, and these two devices I am going to configure in a autonomous system 2. So that's why I am going to enable the BGP routing. Prior to that, I already configured this directly connected interfaces on both firewall 1 and 2 on both, and also on both Cisco switches 1 and 2. So let us view the running configuration before enabling the BGP routing, right? So let us go to firewall 1 and go to the running configuration. So this is the thing I have configured. So gigabit 0, it is for outside interface. I have configured IP is 1.1 and the security level is 0 because it is a less trusted zone. And inside is security level is 100. It's a mostly highly trusted zone, and the IP is 2.1. That's all things I have configured from firewall 1. And let us jump to firewall 2. So the firewall 2, the outside is security level 0 because it is least trusted, and the IP is 1.2 and this IP is 3.1. Inside interface security level 100 and the IP is 3.1. So this is the thing I have configured from the firewall. And let us go to Cisco switch 1 and 2, right? Let us go to Cisco switch, and the IP I have configured is 2.2. So this is a gigabit 0 by 1. I have configured 2.2, and similar setup for Cisco device 2 also, that is IP is 3.2, this gateway is 3.1. So this I configured the 3.2. Okay, so these are things I configure. So now let us enable the BGP routing. So this firewall 1 and the Cisco device 1 I am going to configure in a autonomous system number 1, and these two firewall 2 and the Cisco 2 I am going to configure in a autonomous system 2. So from the firewall 1 perspective, it has two neighbors, one EBGP neighbor to firewall 2, that is ES2, and another IBGP neighbor to Cisco device 1. Okay, the similar way for the firewall 2 also, it has one EBGP neighbor and one IBGP neighbor. So let us quickly configure the BGP neighbor relationship on firewall 1 and 2. Then let us configure the similar way in Cisco device 1 and 2. So let us go to firewall 1 and let us quickly go to the configuration mode. So configuration mode and the router BGP1. Let us enable the autonomous system. So here you have to enable the command called address family. Address family IPv4. Since I'm going to configure IPv4, you have to enable IPv4. Then I have to specify the neighbor statement. So it has two neighbors, one IBGP neighbor and an EBGP neighbor, right? So let us neighbor 192.168.2.2. Remote autonomous system is 1. That is an IBGP neighbor, and another neighbor is 1.2, that is an EBGP neighbor to firewall 2, right? So I hope you are following. So this is 1.2. Then I'm going to advertise both these networks, that is 1. Network and 2. Network. So let us advertise network statement 192.168.1.0 followed by the mask 255.255.255.0. Similar way for the second network also. Okay, so now let us save the configuration. So now let us go to firewall 2 and let us configure the IBGP neighbor and the EBGP neighbor, and then let us advertise both these networks, right? So let us go to firewall 2 and go to the configuration mode. Go to the configuration mode. So router BGP, what does this BGP is? BGP neighbor 2, right? So this is the autonomous system, local is 2 and the remote is 1. So router BGP 2, and it has an IBGP neighbor and the EBGP neighbor. Let us enable the address family IPv4. Address family IPv4, let us configure the IBGP neighbor, that is 192.168.3.2, right? So 192.168.3.2, and the remote AS is, what is the remote AS for 3.2 is 2 only, that's the local AS, right? 2, and it has an EBGP neighbor, that EBGP neighbor is 1.1 and the remote AS is 1. So 192.168.1.1 and the remote AS is 1. Then let us advertise both the subnet, 1. Network and a 3. Network. So go to network statement 192.168.3.0 and let us define the mask 255.0 and also the first network 1.network. Then let us Control Z and save the configuration. So we have done the configuration from BGP configuration from ASA firewall 1 and 2. Let us check the BGP neighbor relationship. Here what is the command is show BGP summary. So we're able to see one is already established, that is 1.2 is already established. Still this is not established, is still I have to configure from the Cisco 1 device, right? Similar way, let us go to firewall show BGP summary. So already 1.1 already is established, still this is not established because I have to still enable the BGP from Cisco 1 and 2. Let us go to Cisco 1. So this is a Cisco device 1 device and I already enabled the directly connect interface I already configured. So let us quickly configure the IBGP neighbor relationship to this. It has only one neighbor, that is an IBGP neighbor to firewall 1, right? So go to the configuration mode, router BGP1, and what is the neighbor is 192.168.2.1. So 192.168.2.1 and the remote AS is 1 and let us advertise the network statement 192.168.2.0, that is a network followed by the mask 255.255.255.0 and then let us save the configuration. Similar setup, let us go to Cisco 2. So Cisco device we are able to see already the neighbor is coming up. So now let us jump to Cisco 2, that's the second switch, and let us configure the IBGP neighbor relationship to firewall 2, right? So go here and go to the configuration mode. Router BGP2 is a local autonomous system, right? So this is a local autonomous system. So here not required to configure the address family. So because you already in the IPv4, in case of ASA firewall, I have to configure the address family IPv4. Okay. So neighbor 192.168.3. What's the neighbor is 3.1, right? And the remote AS is 2. Similar way, let us advertise the network statement. Network is 192.168.3.0 followed by the mask is 255.255.255.0. Let us save the configuration. So now this neighbor is coming up. So now we have successfully established an IBGP and EBGP neighbor relationship from both the firewall 1 and 2. Let us go here. So it has two neighbor. One is an this is an EBGP neighbor and this is an IBGP neighbor. You are able to see from firewall 1 and let us jump to firewall 2. So it has also two neighbor. IBGP neighbor is sub 3.2 and 1.1 is also up from AS firewall 2, right? So let us check the status from Cisco device also. Cisco device, what's the command is show BGP summary. So this is also in established state. Show BGP summary. So how to check the routing entries? In ASA firewall, go to firewall 1, show route BGP is the command. Okay, show route BGP. You are able to see this remote network 192.168.3 network you are able to see, and also from the firewall 2, let us check show route. You are able to see the remote network. You are able to see the show route BGP, right? So you are able to see the remote network is 192.168.2.0. So now let us do a ping from Cisco 1 to Cisco 2. Let us go to Cisco device 1, show IP route BGP. So in case of firewall it is show route BGP. In Cisco 1 it is show IP route BGP. And let us ping the remote network, that is 3.2. So ping 192.168.3.2. Okay, 192.168.3.2. I am not able to reach. Even though I am showing the routing entries, I am not able to reach. I will show you. Similar way, show IP route BGP. So it should show the remote network, that is 2.2. Let us ping the 2.2. So ping 192.168.2.2. Still I am not able to reach. So what we can do is we have to allow the access list. I already told, since we have configured the security zone, traffic always will be allowed from the higher to the lower security zone. Okay, so we have to allow the ICMP traffic for successfully pinging from Cisco device 1 and 2. So let us enable the access list in both firewall 1 and 2. Then let us check the communication between Cisco device 1 and 2. Okay, so go here, go to the configuration mode, access list out underscore in extended permit ICMP any. Okay, so permit is a permit statement, ICMP protocol, source and the destination any. Then let us apply this. Okay, access group out underscore in is a name, in interface outside. So this I'm just allowing from a lower to the higher security zone. So the same command I have to copy to the firewall 2 also. So let us go to the configuration mode of firewall 2. So now let us copy from this particular thing and let us copy to the firewall to the same command. Still I am allowing the ICMP traffic. So let us go here and let us copy this. So I have to always apply the access group also for the access list to get effective. Okay. So now let us save the configuration and now let us do a ping from Cisco device 1 and 2. Okay. So from Cisco 1 I am able to ping 3.2 and Cisco 2 I should be in a position to ping 2.2, right? So 2.2 I am able to reach both the ways. So this is how we can enable the BGP routing in a Cisco ASA firewall. And also if you want we can ping this particular remote interface also 1.1 also I'm able to reach from Cisco 2, and from Cisco 1 let us ping this interface 1.2 interface. Okay, I am able to reach. Okay, so we have successfully configured the BGP enabled in Cisco ASA firewall 1 and 2. So this is how we can enable the BGP routing in a ASA firewall. So what are things I have done is, first I enable the interface inside and the outside security zone on both firewall 1 and 2. Then we have enabled the BGP routing for firewall 1 and 2 and the corresponding access list also. So these are basic things I have done. So I hope you enjoy this video. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more videos. Thanks and have a wonderful day. Thank you.